Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be breaking down and doing a build overview of this new build I made in VOXLBLADE using the new perk of Wind Drill. Now what Wind Drill does is you replace a roll with an air dash that deals damage. You can see I'm just going to be flying, and it hits about 10 times and does 5 damage per one of the spins, so it does quite a solid amount of damage. So I made a whole build around this, and I wanted to show you because I think it is very, very cool. It is a lightning-based build. So the weapon that we are using is the Thunderwood Handle and the Lightning Hammer, which that gives us the static build-up passive, which dealing damage or hitting something 20 times or just 20 times in total, you get an empowered RMB, which is your right click, which will call down up to 5 strikes of lightning. So basically we get a huge amount of burst damage there. For the armor set, we are running double Thunder Gallant. We are then running the Altolodon pants. You can run really double Thunder Gallant with Altolodon. And the armor set itself is Eldritch and Spellproof. Now the rune in the ring, we have caster rings. We have almost 100% uptime on our lightning cloak. And then the Sanguine bolt rune is so it pairs with the Thunder Gallant. So these are both piercing because of multiplicative damage boosts like Spellproof, Eldritch, and Piercing. That's the most amount of damage you can get out of it. So that's why we're doing that. Alright, so this is me editing here. I thought this spot was a little confusing, so I'll explain what I mean. So if we're running max Eldritch, we don't need to put that in the calculation. But let's take the Piercing and the Spellproof for example. If I was to do maximum Spellproof, it would only be a 1.5 damage multiplier. But if I replace 2 of those with Piercing, and I go 1.3 times 1.2, you can see that it is ever so slightly higher than me just going with max Spellproof. So that's pretty much why I am doing that. It is the most optimal way to get the most damage out of these enchants. And it doesn't matter the order, it can be Spellproof or it can be Piercing. It doesn't matter. But I just wanted to explain that and clear it up. And for our infusions, actually, we'll explain Thunder Gallant. Thunder Gallant gives us a voltaic body, so after we use our weapon art, we gain static charge. And then after we use our rune, which is our Sanguine bolt, which is about 11 times, we will call down lightning. So basically we just get a lot of damage out of that, and because that is all boosted by our Eldritch and Spellproof, then we're doing a lot of damage. And then we have Dreadful Lift or Grounded Despair, which every time we jump, boom, a little shockwave of a debuff comes out, which is going to give us our shield proc, which we're not too worried about that. And then we got Aviator or Frequent Flyer, which makes us hold space in the air and we fly and gain a 20% damage boost while in the air. Then the last thing that we have is one of the newer things, Roaring Heads. It is the Void Roots Encyclopedia reward. Basically what it does is every time you deal damage, there's a high chance you get inflicted with one of these 5 debuffs of Shatter, which makes you take more damage, Bleed, damage over time, Burn, damage over time, and then Weaken. So combined with all of that, this basically gives us up to 5 debuffs, which with 5 Eldritch will give us 33.3% more damage for those 5 debuffs that we have per one of these enchants, getting us up to almost 200% more damage with this combo, which is quite ridiculous. So I'll go ahead and show you what the combo is supposed to look like. What you want to do first is you want to set up your Lightning Cloak, which is one of your main sources of damage. It gives you a buff, activates your Thunder Gallant. So we're going to do this. Now that that is activated, what we want to do first is go for our Thunder Gallant, like this, to get our Empowered Hammer. Bam. Then we want to spin around, make sure your Aviator is activated during this. You can get up to 2 spins out, but I was going slow. Then you call the lightning down again. You can spin around again. Always make sure that you're getting your Empowered Hammer out after the end of all these spins and combos. It's like right here, I go for the slam, bam. Now I spin, and I slam down again. So yeah, that's pretty much what the build is supposed to do. It does really solid DPS, and even in a crowd, it's really good. And then for our guild, we are running the Vampire Guild because it just recently got buffed, and you have so much healing with that guild. It is honestly insane how much healing that you have. But yeah, that's pretty much how the build is supposed to work. I will go into some dungeons to give more of a show on what is supposed to happen with it and how it is supposed to work. A little off topic, but I do find it funny that you can literally just fly with this setup. Like, if you have a launch rune with Altolodon, with Aviator, you can just fly. And you can get around so well, it has really good mobility. So here we are in the Frogg Dungeon. Now, I don't actually think Frogg Dungeon is a good showing of how a build should work. Mostly because it's Frogg Dungeon, and any VOXLBLADE player knows that this is a very easy dungeon. But it's a good way, I guess, to show how a build is supposed to work. And yeah, it'll be a lot better in the further floors. Alright, so we are finally here, wave 10, where it can get slightly exciting, because oh my gosh, there's a Dragator. Another thing that you can do right there is charge it up, and then just RMB in the air, and just beat up. I just, like, you're just like Thor, you just call down lightning with your hammer, constantly, and you can fly. Isn't even that bad, so you don't even have to be worried about, like, not getting the mallet in 2 hour time, because it's pretty quick. But yeah, like me personally, I just don't think Frogg Dungeon's ever really a good showing of how a build should perform, just because it's an incredibly easy dungeon. Alright, here I'm just going to apply my lightning cloak after killing that frog. I'm going to fly over. I'm going to fly over that. Oh, ow. And yeah, I'm just flying above him. Can I right click, please? I'm just gonna fly above all this. I don't really want to deal with it. We're just gonna zap him, fly above it, right click him, and boom! He's just dead. Alright, so now we are here in the Tundra Dungeon, which, those of you who don't know what the Tundra Dungeon is, basically it's just like 3 little boss fights into wave defense. And you have to sit through this dialogue, which takes 30 years to finish, because you can't click through it. But yeah, so for example, let's go to the bat first, because it is definitely the hardest. We can just fly up here. Well, that was tragic. But yeah, we do just fly. We launch it up again, make it up here, and now let's just apply our lightning cloak, go a bit faster, get rid of a weapon, also get that speed boost. Now check this out, see? Look how fast we're moving with the TNT. It's not bad. Now we have to fight the freaking bat, being the Omega-Batty. I'd love to not fight it on the lava, if possible. Get over here. Give me my health. Alright, this is really the only challenging fight in the entire Tundra Dungeon. Ugh! Ow. Let's thunder or lightning cloak again. God, man. Make sure we're not getting hit by that. Just slam down there. We also do quite a decent amount of poise damage, which is nice. Get a little bit of chip there. Gotta be like schmovin'. Bam. I know you can actually get enough height to the point where the Omega-Batty actually can't even hit you. With the dashes, which is nice. We have to play this very scary and safe. Well, we just healed all of our health, so never mind. Like, you're safe, you can heal. And that's mostly what people want in builds, is being able to deal out a lot of damage while also getting good healing. And it being fun. I know that there was, like, the tentacle builds that are usually meta, and those are literally just pressing Q. I had a pressing Q build for a while, and I'm not gonna lie, definitely not the... It was fun for the time, because you just get to get 0 cooldown on stuff. But honestly, like, when I made this build, because it was a condensed star Stormcaller, which basically I throw down little lightning bolts whenever I throw my weapon art out. And I'm not gonna lie, it was fun, but then I made this one. And it kind of did the same thing, where I have the concept of throwing lightning around. And I kind of was like, oh wait, the other one isn't very fun anymore. Just because I have this one, which is just so much more interesting. Let's do a risky lightning cloak. Alright, nice. Alright, this should be the end as long as I can get the Sanguine off. Yeah, and that's just a nice kill there. I did, like, last night, I was thinking of another build I wanted to make, and I'm not gonna lie. Oh, actually, what's the intensity? Oh, the intensity's at 2. I was thinking last night of another build I wanted to make, and I honestly was kind of getting discouraged because I was like, wait, what am I supposed to be doing after I make it? But that's the whole thing. You can fight these dungeons, and honestly, I feel proud of myself for successfully fighting the Omega-Batty. And another funny thing about this build is when you're running with the TNT, yeah, you can just ignore the hit of despair down here. You can just fly over there. Actually, I'm just gonna take myself lightning cloak. Not really so much, but just a lot of it. The effects of the Tundra Dungeons, like cold and stuff, don't really affect you as much. So that's cool. Yeah, I actually haven't really fought Proto-Mungus with this that much. Well, that's funny. Oh, well, I missed that. Just fly above that, because we don't want to deal with that. Well, this, like, counters Proto-Mungus as long as they're in the air. That. Oh, I didn't have anything there. Yeah, I haven't been hit yet. The Omega-Batty is just a sucky fight, I'm not gonna lie. I hate that fight. I don't think anyone in the game likes the Omega-Batty fight. I do think, though, if you wanted to copy this build, or at least use it, and you don't have double enchants, you should just use Eldritch. You would be getting about, like, 60-something% less than I'm getting. But still, that's not bad damage. That's not bad. Okay, I'm just gonna avoid all that. Like Eldritch. There goes Proto-Mungus. Also, yeah, the vertical mobility of the wind drill is really bad if you're trying to go up or down. But going horizontally, like left and right. Can I go around this? Nice. Yeah, going left or right is a lot better. Like going straight. But if you angle it up, see how I go a lot slower? Like, look at the stalactites, for example. Like, see? This is me going straight ahead like this. This is me if I aim it up. Like, I don't get to go that fast. So, yeah, having that mobility is really, really good as an option. Like, if you're trying to get up somewhere, like, if I want to get up here, like, yeah, I'll use it. That's fine. But now if I want to get over to the dungeon door faster, I'm just going to do it horizontally. Guy up. Start our lightning call. Let's try to right-click and then try to run. Oh, goodness. Oh, it's trapped. Sick. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, right there, see? I can go above it while it's drilling, and as long as I have it in this little spot right here, which is, like, one of the best spots for it to be in. I need to reapply my lightning cloak, so I'm actually just going to fly up here, reapply it, as I showed in the Frogg Dungeon. Well, I clearly have insane spacing. This specifically yet. Okay, a little lower. Alright. Well, I guess we're just gonna wait this out. I think I could also use Sporling with this. It's just, I don't know if I want to, I don't know. Try it just over the Dreadful Lift. It's just kind of lose out a magic boost, but I guess I would get my debuffs up way more because, like, I guess with this specific fight, your whole point is to try to reapply the Dreadful Lift as much as possible by hitting the ground. Get away from it. Get away from it. God, terrifying. Oh, dang it. That was probably the kill. Yeah, it was. Alrighty. If it was tanky, we'd probably still be fighting Proto-Mungus, by the way. One of the many reasons I do not like doing that. I actually have not done the wave defense on this guy yet. So this will be interesting. Alright, let's fire Lightning Cloak, and let's start spinning. Actually, probably the biggest weakness of this build is going to be the fact that the Gremlomancer is going to snipe me in this area. But I do see myself definitely having a lot of being very tanky here. Because as long as I can get kills on the weaker mobs, I should be fine. Because I am vampire, and you get a lot of healing off that. I really honestly just think the Vampire Guild's busted right now. You literally just have to run Vampire Guild and not have to worry about anything heal related in that regard. Just because you have so much healing available to you. And we're just flying. Flying through the sky. It was a little bit of a spooky situation. It was dealt with relatively easily. Well, that's annoying. Ah. Get our lightning cloak back. This should be fine. I think we have a lightning strike down, yeah. Alright, let's grab all these guys. Go this way. Grab the Iron Slayer. Whew. This is fun. I should, oh yeah, I should not have used my M2 on that, but I missed. I mean, no, I didn't miss. I didn't miss. I tactically moved my mouse away. It's like, not the same thing. Well, I really hope that it gets charged entirely, because I do not have my lightning cloak up right now. Probably enough time for me to do this before the elevator dies. Yay. Well, that was a Tundra Dungeon. All of that to get a Binded Corruption. Worth. With all that being said and done, I hope that you all enjoyed the build showcase. If you want me to showcase any more builds that I have in VOXLBLADE, just let me know. And if you want me to build something, I would be entirely down for that as well. Just let me know. But yeah, hopefully everyone enjoyed. And with all that being said, I'll see everyone in the next one. Adios!